homage beat.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Man, it is good to, give me 1 second. Woo! It is good to be back. God, it is good to be back. Sorry if I just blew people's eardrums out, I'm sorry. But man, it is so effing good to be back here with you guys. I'm very excited to be back on the podcast. I run the podcast periodically. I was off all week last week, and now I'm back. Josh is already in the chat. Josh says Deontay Wilder since he already beat him. It's a good point. Usually the younger guy, and we'll get into it, but when a younger guy has a rematch with an older guy that he's already beat, usually the result's the same. But we have to talk about it because it's tomorrow and because your boy is into boxing now. Granted, I've always been into boxing, but, you know, if you guys have seen the vlog, by the way, if you haven't seen the vlog, I put out a new vlog, my first vlog, as a part of a bigger vlog series called Fight or Flight. Quick explanation, it's just my journey 1 year from, I think, last Saturday to 1 year from then. My journey from a beginning boxer, amateur fighter, whatever, to becoming hopefully, good enough to fight somebody, and somebody being the somebody, KSI, on this platform. I want to rip the fool's head off. In all due respect to the guy, he's done everything he should be doing, yada yada. But I'm a competitor, and I see somebody that I think I can go after. I'm gonna do that. Bottom line. Anyway, go check out that vlog. It's a mix of my journey, inside of boxing and fighting, as well as just my daily life. My girlfriend Kelsey, who is in the chat, she's in there. She's the funniest part of the entire vlog. So go check that out if you guys have a free moment. But do that after the live stream because we got stuff to talk about. All right? So without any further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. This is the W.A.D.E Concept Podcast. If you're new here, like, subscribe. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, all those good things. check us out. But let's just get right into what we're talking about today. So, as you guys can see, we have a big fight this weekend, and that is Deontay Wilder Luis Ortiz #2. Now, in the first fight, we saw, now, Deontay Wilder's undefeated. He does have one draw against Tyson Fury, but we saw the first kind of instance of Deontay Wilder possibly being vulnerable. He has a wild style. To most people, it was just a matter of time before, or it is still a matter of time before Deontay gets caught for his style. He throws ridiculous power. Some of the, Deontay Wilder's power is freakish because he's not a huge heavyweight. He's, I think, 212, 211 pounds. But when the guy hits you, I mean, we've talked about it with Conor McGregor. We've talked about it with Francis Ngannou. We call it the touch of death. For us, a hobby is called the touch of death, and I love that term because when Deontay Wilder hits you, you don't get up. When he cleans you out with that right hand, whether it's an overhand, I like his straight shots more than his overhand. His overhand shots, to me, tend to be a little bit on the, I need to turn my mic up. They tend to be a little bit on the short side, in my opinion. They tend to be a little wild. Shogun, what's going on, baby? They tend to be a little wild, and they don't really hit the target. A la KSI last weekend. They looked ridiculous. Those punches were garbage. But when he throws the straight punches, when he throws down the pipe, you're not getting away from it, and he puts you down. So for Deontay, the story remains the same, is how long is he going to go with this intense, wild, at-you style, just throwing ridiculous power without getting caught? And in the first fight with Luis Ortiz, there was not a lot of hype around him. There was, in the boxing world, at least a sense of danger when Deontay took this fight the first time. Because a lot of people, even though Luis Ortiz is, I think, 43 now, knew that he possessed the skills, technique-wise, his ability to, slip punches that Deontay would throw and also come back with some big-time power of his own. He possessed that ability to give Deontay some problems, and he did just that. In their first fight, Luis Ortiz had Deontay Wilder on some wobbly legs, had him on some skates, and it was because he hit him with a big left hand straight down the pipe, and Deontay wasn't expecting it. We got to see his chin tested for, in all intents and purposes, the first time, and he handled it like a champ. He came back and stopped Luis Ortiz late in the fight, in a fight that a lot of people, boxing experts, thought that Deontay Wilder was losing. So I don't think it's a foregone conclusion to necessarily say that Deontay Wilder is going to come back and win this fight. But I would lean toward Deontay Wilder winning this fight, mostly because I do love his power. I love when he throws the straight punches down the pipe because those things are deadly. They have malintent behind them, and they land with ferocious power. And I think that's something that you can't account for no matter how many times you're in the gym. If you're a Luis Ortiz, the shots that Deontay Wilder throws, because he's so long, he can hit you and you can't touch him back. He throws the straights down the middle. You're not touching him back. Now, he does get off balance. We saw it in the Fury fight. We saw it in the Ortiz fight. If you do frustrate him for a good amount of time, Shogun says, I hit harder than him. I don't know about that. How about this, Shogun? You come to my gym, you hit me with one of those Deontay Wilder shots. We'll put it on cam. We'll see. But if I survive, I get to hit you back. Then we'll see who has Deontay Wilder power. I'm telling you, I'm breaking walls with these things right now. It's coming out on vlog number 3. Easy, guys. Easy. It'll be there. All right, Josh. Cool, brother. But yes. Yes, Deontay Wilder does obviously have a lot in the pipeline here. So this is a lot riding on this fight. Deontay Wilder has a matchup with Tyson Fury looming, possibly a matchup with Anthony Joshua, depending on the Anthony Joshua-Andy Ruiz fight. So there's a lot riding on this, and you didn't used to see this in boxing, did you? You didn't used to see the big-time marquee names take these kind of risks at the highest level. You never saw it with Floyd. Floyd fought everyone, but he didn't necessarily fight them, in their prime or in his most vulnerable state. In fact, the matchups that gave Floyd the most problems, like Zab Judah, obviously Manny Pacquiao, he took a long time and the long way around to get to those matchups where either he didn't feel comfortable with the matchup itself or he felt more confident later on in his career. Deontay Wilder has taken on some big-time names and some big-time risks, especially as of late with the Tyson Fury fight that he didn't have to take. Obviously, the second Ortiz fight, the first Ortiz fight he didn't have to take. German, what's up, man? What's the weight again from both? Okay, so that's actually a good question for Luis Ortiz. I know that Deontay Wilder walks around he weighs in at usually 211, 212. I think he's 6'6". He's a big, tall guy, but he's skinny. Wilder's 41-0 and 1, so that's one draw. Ortiz is 31-1, and that's 26 knockouts from Ortiz, and 40 of his 41 wins for Deontay Wilder have been KOs. If Ortiz wins, he will have every belt in the heavyweight divisions. Will he have every belt in the heavyweight division? No. Ortiz would have the WBC belt. The lineal belt still stays with Tyson Fury, and Andy Ruiz has like 5 belts. So Ortiz would have the WBC belt. So this fight is very dangerous. It's very interesting for a couple of reasons, because if Ortiz is to win, do you do the rematch again, the trilogy with Deontay Wilder? I would think so, unless it's in just complete devastating fashion. Or do you look at him being 43 years old, him trying to get whatever he can out of that belt, him going and fighting a guy like Tyson Fury and saying, look, I beat the guy that couldn't beat you. Now it's my turn. Now come get you a taste of this left hand. So there's some different matchups that could come out of this. As a Wilder fan, I'm a big-time Bronze Bomber fan. I do want to see him get over this last little, I don't want to call it a little, but this last hurdle, this one thing that separates the Tyson Fury rematch from happening again, and also possibly a matchup with Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz. Yeah, Ortiz is old. I think he's 43. I don't know. You might have to fact check me on that. He might be just 40, but I'm pretty sure he is 43. That's so wild. I'm on CBS Boxing's website, and the promo for the place I actually work, Hall Pass Media, is on the website. That is some freaky stuff, man. They're watching us, guys. They're watching us. Anyway, I know he's in his, and then it just goes away as I say that. If I don't make it out of this live stream alive, just know they were watching me. Anyway, yes, so after this matchup, a lot of different potentials coming out of this. He's the only one that beat that English guy, right? Or if you're talking about, who are you talking about, Shogun? Ortiz? Or who are you talking about? But yes, a ton of matchups coming out of this. Big time fight this weekend. I think the MGM Grand is hosting. This will be on Fox pay-per-view. I don't know if we're going to be watching. It'll be a tough. I think I've got some stuff to do tomorrow, but I might live stream it. I would say let's lean towards not live streaming tomorrow, just because one, I have some stuff to do on my channel, so I got some editing and stuff to do either tonight, right after this podcast, and then it's going to be up tomorrow. So I just want to make sure everything's okay with that. And yeah, so I'll say let's not live stream this one. Plus, we're getting prepared for UFC 245. We are live streaming that one, 100%. We are live streaming that. But yeah, I wanted to start off the podcast, and the main topic would be Deontay Wilder. I think that he's on the cusp of being a all-time great, if he's not already. And with that 41-0 and then the 0-1 with the draw, he's still technically undefeated. Only 9 wins away from 50. And, with the big-time matchup with Fury, possibly the other two guys with Ruiz and Joshua looming, I think that we could start to look at the Bronze Bomber. While he's unconventional, while he didn't start boxing as soon as some of the other guys did from a small youth, while he has this freakish ability to put people down, all of that enticed, all of it, into one. And you could have a legendary heavyweight boxer. And I love heavyweight boxing now, because in boxing in general, but heavyweight boxing especially, has carried boxing for so long. And when boxing took a little bit of a dip, and it was just Floyd Mayweather and just Canelo and just Manny, you didn't see any time for them to cover. You thought that MMA would take that mantle and just run with it, and they have. But boxing is starting to come back. You're starting to see interest back in, and that, has to do with the heavyweights, in my opinion. I think that Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, that little rivalry, as well as Anthony Joshua and the big-time event they did with the Klitschko's over in the UK. Those things are huge when you're trying to compete with a international corporation like the UFC who has champions from all over the world, and they can build this huge audience base. And obviously the appeal of different stylistic matchups and different types of fighters that aren't just wearing boxing gloves and going at it. Boxing needed this. The sweet science needed the heavyweights to come back, and they have. So I'm a big fan of heavyweight boxing. Especially now that the division now has like or not division, but now that it has like a 3-horse race at the top, possibly a 4-horse race at the top. Because Andy Ruiz, man, the people's champ, don't count this guy out in the rematch with Anthony Joshua. That guy is problems for anybody. The hand speed of that guy, for him to be so aesthetically, you look at him and you're thinking this guy's not, and maybe that's the whole, shtick of Andy Ruiz, but you look at him and you're like, this guy is not going to be able to handle any kind of onslaught from Anthony Joshua, who's known to have his own power. But the hand speed and the combinations and the consistency of the power of Andy Ruiz's punches with the speed that he also presents in bunches. A lot of guys, you'll see Tyson Fury throw a lot of combinations that don't necessarily look like there's a ton of power behind them. It looks like he's landing to procure points and practice the sweet science. When Andy Ruiz gets inside and he's throwing combinations, he's there to kill. He's there to put you down. And it doesn't seem like they let up. It's, I don't see him going, 3-minute or 3 rounds straight of just full-on onslaught. But when he does bring the heat, it keeps coming over and over and over. You're not stopping those combinations. And the speed of them is something that I'm really beholden and had to step back and say, wow. And just watching him in training, the way he moves his arms and he's throwing shots, those are all shoulder motions. There's not like a lot of bicep movement in his punches. And that's something I'm learning. That's something that I'm taking away as I'm continuing to learn how to box. Is it's all coming from that kind of retraction and explode motion of your arm. It's not necessarily like, tighten up and throw. It's all that fluid kind of popping of that shoulder and really letting your arms go. So I'm a big fan of watching Ruiz fight and train. But yes, long story short, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz 2. We're going to predict, because the fight's tomorrow. Let's see what the line is, by the way. I think they have it on here. And Shogun, to answer your question, I'm not sure. About Ruiz or about Ortiz. Okay, so wow, Luis Ortiz is a plus 475 dog, which would make the champion minus 650. Yeesh. I mean, that's a good line if you're an Ortiz guy. If you watch the first fight and you saw the success that Ortiz had, I'm not going to go tell you what to do with your money, but if I was a betting man, I might put some money on Ortiz, because that's a big line. Plus 475 is a big line. So just watching the first fight and watching how much success Ortiz had for a longevity of that fight was a big deal. And when you go back and watch the actual stoppage, I think that it was Ortiz who had landed the bigger shots for the majority of the fight, and had that fight, and you can always, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Had that fight continued, I would have been confident that Ortiz still comes forward and lands big shots, because it's not like Deontay Wilder is the slickest of defensive fighters. He's coming forward, he's throwing big power, and that's what it's going to be. So don't be surprised. I'm not saying that Ortiz is going to win. My prediction is Deontay Wilder by some sort of early round knockout. He's going to come out firing, and he's going to come out fast. And I think he's going to catch Ortiz quick. And once you're caught, another thing that I'm seeing with, like, especially recently with MMA and boxing is people overestimate the ability of someone, overestimate the ability of someone to recover. Once you're caught with that kind of shot, it's not like you're going to be just fresh as a daisy after you sit on the stool for 30 seconds. That's going to ring for a good couple of rounds, whether it's in MMA or boxing. More so in MMA, because you're getting pressured and grappled and thrown on your head and having to defend multiple different attacks. But in boxing too, it's not like if you get clanged right on top of the ear and you go sit down for 30 seconds, you're all fresh and ready to go again. That's not how it works. So I think Deontay lands something quick and early and puts Ortiz away. But if he doesn't, and this fight goes late into 11 and 12, you could see Ortiz maybe mount a little bit of a comeback and start to land on a slower Deontay as the fight goes on. We saw in the Fury fight, as that fight went on, Fury was landing more and more and more. And even when he got dropped, Fury came back and, in my opinion, I don't want to say won the round, but won the rest of the round. So I'll go with Deontay Wilder. I'm hoping for Deontay Wilder to win. I love the heavyweight kind of 4-horse race we have. So Deontay Wilder. And, we're going to see. I'm not going to be live streaming it, unfortunately, but we are going to see a fun fight. I guarantee you that. Someone is home downstairs. All right. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, and I know it's a little bit away, but we have to talk about UFC 245 because I think it's 2 weeks away. I don't think. Do we have an event? We do not. The next event we have is December 7th, and that's Alistair Overeem, Jair Zio. Oh, this guy that just devastating knockout, Cynthia Calvillo, Ben Rothwell, Stephen Struve. Stephen Struve back in the octagon. But let's talk specifically about, actually, that's a good point, Shogun. Let's talk about some stuff that we missed while I was gone. Ben Askren retired. Ben Askren, quite possibly the best grappler in MMA before he got to the UFC. At least he was widely known to be. And then obviously ran into a guy named Damian Maia a couple last month, and that was figured out in the octagon. It has come to my attention that he's retired. He has officially retired, and I think it's a good thing. I think Ben Askren, as much hype as he brought along with his introduction to the UFC and his ability to create fights for himself, I thought, was he better than Khabib? No. When I say he was widely known as the best grappler in MMA, that was, in his time, I think because he had retired for 2 years before he got to the UFC or something like that. Khabib was still fairly, for at least to the mainstream audience, fairly new as far as his name. People didn't really know. Khabib, by far the best grappler in his weight division in MMA and the hardest weight division in MMA, in my opinion. But Ben Askren had that lore around him before coming to the UFC as being a guy that could handle, a matchup with Khabib, that could handle the guys like Damian Maia. That was a dream matchup for a lot of people in the grappling community. And so when it happened and Damian Maia was able to get over on him, that was a big deal. But I think for Ben, he's 38, 39. He's talking about having a hip replacement. So I don't think it's good to stay around past the point of diminishing returns. And for him, it didn't look like things were getting any better. His striking it was almost non-existent. Me and Kyle died laughing on the live stream just watching those two strike. But, it is, all jokes aside, the man had started to look like he was on the decline. I'm sure he's still one of the top grapplers in MMA, but I think it was a good idea for him to hang it up. That division is so stacked with young guys that can do everything. You have to be multifaceted, in my opinion, unless you are a younger grappler that does possess some sort of different techniques that no one's doing. Because Kamaru Usman handled Damian Maia. Colby Covington handled Damian Maia. And I know MMA math doesn't always add up, but when you talk about the top of that division, they've gone through the specialists. Kamaru, yes, he's a wrestler. Colby's a wrestler, but they strike. Colby Covington landed the most strikes, I think, or attempted the most strikes in a UFC fight history. Something like 600 attempted strikes. Kamaru Usman has knocked guys out, but it's the pace they bring. So I think at this level, if you're not bringing something that encompasses all aspects of fighting, again, in this division, because Khabib is an outlier in my opinion, him just being a specific specialist, you don't see a ton of them anymore that hold the strap for a long time. 30%, I know, man. But I think it was Ben's time. I didn't see a lot of matchups for him out there that were going to get him back to the title, especially after the loss to Maia, because Maia had been, I don't want to say a stepping stone, but a gatekeeper for, Colby Covington, Kamaru. Once they beat that guy and got to that next level, beat RDA, and then all of a sudden you're looking at a title shot. So Ben's gone, but I think he's not gone. I could see him doing some things in commentary, in analyst work, something in those, facets, and I think he would be really good at it. I don't know if he'd be better than me, but we could work out a deal. Ben, If you're looking for a co-host for any type of flow grappling, I saw that you work with flow grappling a lot. Holler at your boy. I'm not an expert yet, but I'm always looking for opportunities. So if you're watching this, I'm waiting. And then we have, like I said, speaking of the 170 division, UFC 245, Saturday, December 14th, 7 p.m. Of course, we're going to be live streaming this, guys. I don't want to just skip over next week's card because we do have some big-time names. Alistair Overeem, Cynthia Calvillo, Stefan Struve, Ben Rothwell, Aspen Ladd. Ooh, Ricky Simon's on that card. We might have to live stream this card too. But I do specifically want to talk about Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, there are some big time fights on this card. This is if not the most stacked card of the year, it's number 2 because it's not just top heavy. Like the BMF title card was a little top heavy. I mean, you had Edmund Shabazia. That was a big time fight. That was a big time introduction to a lot of fans for Edmund. So I think there were some fights on that card that were big, but you have 3 title fights on this card. You have a former, greatest 145er ever, Jose Aldo, doesn't even get the co-main or the bout below the co-main. He's fighting Marlon Moraes in his introduction to 135 or reintroduction. And then you have Peter Yan, who most people think at bantamweight is next up, whenever Henry Cejudo is going to be healthy, he could be next up to fight after Aljamain. And then you have Aljamain, Frankie Edgar, whoever, wins that fight. And then you have Uriah Faber taking him on after spending 2 years in retirement, coming back. The California Kid is just knocked out Ricky Simon or Ricky Simone. And now he's taking on Peter Yan, who most people are terrified of in that division. So, huge main card. I'm sure that's going to do crazy numbers. You don't think Aldo will make weight? Yeah, a lot of people are saying Jose might not make weight. You watched him trying to make 145, and it looked rough. It looked rough when Jose tried to make 145. So I can't imagine him trying to go 10 more pounds because it looked like, he had all the muscles and all the dehydrated muscles were out, and his face almost looked gaunt, like it looked scary. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he makes 135, but we're going to see. Marlon Moraes is no easy bout at all. This guy, if not for, getting tired or gassing against Henry Cejudo, was doing work. So, that's a tough matchup, and especially cutting 10 more pounds. Jared Kick, what's up, man? How you doing? Josh says, do you ever think Tyson Fury fights UFC? It's possible. Who is Tyson with right now? Okay, hold on. Josh just went a little off topic. He says, Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Bruce Willis, rank them just in general, best to worst. Worst is Bruce Willis, in my opinion. I was never a big Die Hard guy. I know people, I'm going to get a lot of, I might get a thumbs down on the video for that. Not a big fan. I didn't watch a ton of movies with Bruce Willis in them. And when I did watch, you know what movie I did like with Bruce Willis? What is the movie that they made the remake of, like the Glass remake? What was that? You guys, I'm sure you guys know in the comments. I can't remember the name of it. Unbreakable or something like that? Anyway, that was dope. Chuck Norris, pound for pound, maybe. I would say Bruce, Arnold, because Arnold's just a cool dude, governor of California at some point. I was never a huge Terminator guy, especially after number 2. But, yeah, Arnold. But Sly, it's got to be Sylvester Stallone. I mean, the Rocky series, come on, dude. I used to watch TBS, Dinner in a Movie, with my dad, and we would watch all the Rocky movies. We would watch, I remember my first Rocky movie was Rocky 3, just because it was Dinner in a Movie was like the program where they would show all the cooking stuff and then show the movie. I hadn't seen the first 2 yet. I just watched him fight Clubber Lang, and Mr. T puts on a masterful performance. But come on, man, it's gotta be Sly. You got the Rocky series that just keeps living now through Creed, and they're good movies. Like Rocky 5, okay, I'll give you. Rocky 6, I don't even know what that was. But you got to admit that Rocky 1 through 4 and the Creed series now, maybe Creed 2, But that's a 5 series and the Rambo series. People, Rambo is, as again, I wasn't a huge Rambo guy, but I saw enough to know that damn good movie. Outside of that, that's at least 8 movies that were hits, right? Or yeah, around 8 movies that were hits. Name me two. Okay. Jingle All the Way was crazy good. I was gonna say, name me 2 Bruce Willis movies outside of Die Hard that were crazy good. Name me 2. But I like Josh's picks. Total Recall was, at its time, just a really good action movie. Jingle All the Way was a good... I actually remember that movie. I was a big fan of that. Rocky 1. Yep, Rocky 1 was great. No, Creed is not better than Rocky. I'm just saying the movies that Sly is involved in and the universe that he's created with the Rocky movies. The guy wrote the movies himself, by the way. The guy wrote Rocky by himself, or at least the conception of it, and then went and acted on it. You want to talk about betting on yourself? Sly Stallone, at a time when he didn't really have anything going on, the man made something of himself, made himself into the craziest action, superhero, I think, ever. Predator, another good movie from Arnold. But Bruce Willis, Die Hard, that's kind of it. I'm out. But I would say it's a 1A, 1B deal where it's like Sly Stallone, and then you have Schwarzenegger. Armageddon. What do you mean, look who's talking, Shogun? What does that mean? Look who's talking. Oh, the movie Look Who's Talking. There you go. I was like, what do you mean, look who's talking? Yeah, look who's talking. That's a dope. I was never a big Die Hard guy, man. Armageddon was cool, though. Okay, I know, it's a little off topic. I know, Shogun, I'm an idiot. It's a little off topic. Who are the action stars of today outside of The Rock? So you have The Rock, Jason Statham. Who are like the top 3 now? Because Jason Statham's not really an action guy anymore, but The Rock for sure. Give me 2 more, and I want you guys to rank those in the live chat. But to get back to Josh's question about Tyson Fury, I don't know, man. It's tough because it's always something where the UFC has to broker a deal with either Matchroom Boxing or Showtime Boxing, or I don't know who's Tyson's promotion is at this moment, but it'll be something where they have to have a crossover deal, and the money's there, the intrigue is there. You have Stipe already calling out Tyson to say, come over and give me a fight there, and we'll go box. It's this whole thing. Now you hear Francis Ngannou talking about he wants to box Tyson. I think it's this old adage where MMA guys want to go over and test their skills in boxing because they do practice a little bit of that sport in their own sport. There's a little bit of boxing in MMA, but there's not the complete sweet science, gloves on, shoes on, only hands, no kicks, no wrestling. So I do see the intrigue there. I don't know if it ever happens, though. But look, Tyson just went and wrestled for the WWE, and if he was cleared to do that, I would say they probably get Tyson the Deontay Wilder fight if that lines up. He gets that fight, and then after that, maybe goes and fights Anthony Joshua, because that would be huge for the UK. And then maybe we'll see. I'll never say never with that stuff because we've seen Conor go over and fight Floyd. I know that was more of an exhibition, but yeah, he looked pretty good, man. Those elbows looked great. He moved well. I mean, Tyson's always been a guy that's been able to move well for his weight. But the elbows are just, a shorter straight, and he threw them fluidly. The knees looked okay. That didn't look like an expert, but he's not an expert at using his knees, but he looked like he knew what he was doing. He looked better than I looked the first time I tried to throw a knee. So he does have skills, and obviously the movement he presents at heavyweight, you're not going to see a ton of guys do. Now, most people will be like, okay, cool. Well, what if Curtis Blades or Stipe decide they want to wrestle him? We have problems. We will have problems. I don't think Tyson has ever protected himself against somebody that's going to try to wrestle him. So that would be a problem. But strictly based off of that video that Josh is talking about where he was throwing elbows and Darren Till was holding pads for him, the elbows looked crisp. He was able to move in and out of the pocket well. He's got a lofty reach, pretty decent reach advantage at heavyweight, especially if you're looking at him versus Stipe, but we'll see. 15 millions, what do you got for that WWE match? Holy cow, dude. I'm telling you, man, that's that Saudi money. That Saudi oil money, man, it's not good business for the WWE as far as the morality and the optics of it, but that money is crazy. But yeah, I would say never because you just never know. You didn't think that Floyd was ever going to fight Conor, and they got it done in a matter of months. So we could wake up tomorrow in this world we live in, and Tyson Fury could announce he's going into a fight for the UFC heavyweight title. Just walk right in. So it's happened before. I wouldn't doubt it happening again, but I'll say I'm a little skeptical. Okay, but you guys didn't give me action stars, by the way. I need action stars of today. I want to know what you guys think. Josh, who is your action star of today? Shogun. Besides The Rock. Because I would think The Rock's number one, but he does like a bunch of stuff. He does comedy. He does that. Yeah, he's 6'9". He has great mobility. Talking about Tyson. Never say never, man. Okay, we have UFC 245. That one's coming up. We have Alistair Overeem fighting in the main event in a couple of weeks. Oh, let's talk about what was the fight that just got announced? I would say someone, but I really don't watch movies too much. Listen, Jurek, I'm with you, dude. I watch Marvel movies. I'm a big Marvel guy. Shout out Captain America, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are rebooting the character, Marvel Studios, holler at me. Yeah, I don't watch a ton of movies, though. I wanted to watch that Will Smith Gemini thing, but I never got around to it, and I heard it wasn't that great. So, but I'm trying to think of movies I'm excited about. I like that movie coming out about the guy that was accused of bombing. I think it was the Oklahoma City thing. I want to see that one. Shogun says, not sure if I'm right, but Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I'm Captain America, German. Yeah. Monday Night Raw is the most viewed on TV, beats the NFL. Wow. If that's true, that's pretty amazing. Monday Night Raw, I know, is a huge, huge deal for USA. I've been a wrestling fan for a long time. Monday Night Raw has been around for forever. I think it's one of the longest outside of The Simpsons, like episodic TV shows concurrently coming out. I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest with you. I mean, they run 3 hours, so I think the time frame is also a good deal for them too, because I think they run like at 8 to 11. So it's kind of like they get the first part the last part of the game for the NFL, and then they can kind of have that last hour to kind of make some things work. So these new guys suck. These new action stars suck. Well, The Rock is number one. We know that. That's he's the number one like money-making star in Hollywood right now. So I don't know, man. I don't know if there's too many action stars anymore. I don't think action movies outside of the Marvel universe are not like the big money getters now. I feel like it's comedy, it's superhero movie things, and it's franchises. Like it's boom, 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 boom. Things things made from books or former shows, but it's mostly superheroes and it's comedy now. Who would I pick to be the new Tony Stark? Jeez. That's a good question, man. Like off of the look of the character, I don't know. I don't know who would give the same, because Robert Downey Jr., man, you want to talk about putting a guy, like taking a guy from a comic book and drawing him and then saying, I want that, give me a real life person that looks exactly like that. Granted, there's some differences, but man, Robert Downey Jr. almost had the exact look down. Whoever it was, I'd like to see the and this is not like I want to see like a more edgy Tony Stark, whoever is to play that character, because Tony Stark, a Disney franchise is probably not going to show it, but the guy had so many struggles with different things that weren't necessarily PG, and it's really easy to kind of dilute it and just show the superhero arc. And I think they gave him like an anxiety thing where he was creating his own fears, which is cool, but he also struggled with alcoholism. He was he was a little bipolar. a manic depressive. Like those things I think are cool little intricacies of a character where you don't have to outright do a movie about it. You can show like his struggles with those kind of things, whoever it is. But I don't have a good answer for that, man. That's tough. Yeah, I'd have to think about it. I don't know enough actors to say who would be the next Tony Stark. I'm in full Star Wars mode, by the way, too, guys. I'm in like full Star Wars mode. Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe could play like an old Frank Miller Batman series. What was that? The old Dark Knight. Frank Miller when Batman was over the hill and he had to fight Superman in the maid suit and everything. He could play like an older version of Tony Stark. I would dig Russell Crowe as like an old Tony Stark that comes out of retirement to help the young, like up and coming genius guy. I'd be down for that. But yeah, we got way off topic, but I like that stuff. Like I like talking to you guys about like stuff that's not just necessarily fighting. Oh, Gladiator's my dad's favorite movie. Gladiator is my dad's favorite all-time movie, which I think is hilarious. Like, of all the movies to have an all-time favorite, and he will watch it every time it's on. Like, my dad has cable. He will watch it every single time it comes on, regardless of what time of the day it is. My dad is, like, usually asleep by 9. If Gladiator's on, that fool stand up till 1 a.m. to watch Russell Crowe kick some ass. Like, that, he will. I don't know what the obsession is, but he loves that movie. Gladiator and A Christmas Story are my dad's two favorite movies. Completely different. Have no idea why. They just are. I don't know. But, yes. Way off topic, but I think I like doing that with you guys. That's fun, man. We need to do more of that on this podcast, in my opinion. I think we need to be off topic a little more. Braveheart? I don't know. Not a big Braveheart guy. But, okay. Outside so to recap, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, closer than you think, in my opinion. That fight's going to be a lot closer than you think. If you're a betting person, again, I'm not going to go tell you to do whatever you want to do with your money. Luis Ortiz gave Deontay Wilder, outside of Tyson Fury, gave him his hardest fight. And even rocked Deontay Wilder, had him stumbling around on his feet. For him to be a plus 475 underdog, there's some money there to be had if you are a betting person. So, and watch this fight. If it goes deep into the 10th and 11th and 12th rounds, and Deontay Wilder's not able to get Luis Ortiz out of there, you're going to see a surge by Luis Ortiz, and you're going to see him try to bring that left hand and put Deontay Wilder away. So don't be surprised if it happens. I'm still picking Deontay Wilder early. I think he comes out firing, lands some big shots, hopefully gets rid of the wildness in the overhands and sticks with those long straights down the pipe, because those are the shots that put people down, man. But, yes, that's my prediction there. We have, a fairly big card. I think we're going to live stream this Saturday, December 7th. This is the DC card they had to replace the main event for, I think, 3 or 4 times, unfortunately, especially in the case of Walt Harris. I hope that justice comes to the freaking scumbag that did what he did. We're not going to get into it too much on this podcast, but if you want to find out more about that or any way to help, look up Walt Harris and what's going on with him and his family. It's tragic, and people are monsters, just completely monsters, and I hope everything works out for his family. I don't know the latest news on it, but whatever happens to that person that took his daughter is well-deserved. Justice will come to that individual. I promise, one way or another. This is the MMA community. Justice will come to that person. But they have replaced the main event for that show, and we have a good one. Alistair Overeem, Jair Zeno Roskin Stolk. I'm butchering his name. He knocks people dead, and he's undefeated at heavyweight. He's got a huge rise. Devil, keeping a long story short, Walt Harris's, I think it was his stepdaughter, was kidnapped. This has been about a month now or close to, and I don't know if they found her yet or, what's happening with that. But basically someone took her from a gas station, and they found the guy, I think, that took her. And I think they're trying to still figure out if she's out there. Hopefully she is. And I know I have a small community, but if you guys see or hear anything, obviously let, the people that the authorities, whoever know, But yeah, it's a really messed up story, and Walt Harris was supposed to fight on this card, on the DC card, December 7th. Obviously, for good reason, he's not. And, obviously the thoughts from the W.A.D.E concept community and myself go out to him and his family. Hopefully there's some glimmer of hope there that they either find her or, I hope. That's all we can say is we hope. But yeah, that's unfortunate. It's one of the worst things you can think about as a person. Devil. By the way, Devil, shout out to you for being here again, my dog. It's good to see you. What time is the fight? The pay-per-view will start at 9 p.m. Eastern. And that's a 6 p.m. Pacific start. I think you're in Louisiana. I don't know what the time change is there. It might be 8 p.m. Central for you. Oh, wait. What time is the Ruiz fight? I'm sorry. I looked at whatever you were. I thought you were talking about the Luis Ortiz and Deontay Wilder fight. My bad. You said it's 3:48. Okay, so you're on Central Time. Okay, so that fight is Saturday. The main event will start at 4 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, December 7th, 4 p.m. Eastern, so that would be like 3 p.m. Central in Louisiana. So look for December 7th, 3 p.m. Central. Shoot, we might double stream, guys, because I do want to live stream that. That's on DAZN. We might double stream. Yeah, we might actually stream the... What is that sound? I don't know what that sound is, but sorry. We will live stream. I think that it's a safe bet for us to live stream. What is happening right now? Oh, I know what that was. Sorry, guys. Something on my computer. We will live stream the I know you guys didn't hear it, but it was freaking me out. I thought somebody was coming through the walls or something. We will live stream the Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua fight. That's at 3 p.m. Central, so 1 p.m. Pacific. We'll be doing that, and then we'll hop on over to the UFC Washington, D.C. card and live stream that one as well. Describe the sound. Nah. Sorry, Shogun. It's all over. It sounded like someone was banging the wall down. I don't know what that was. I think it was like the video that they were promoting the Ruiz fight. Anyway, long story short, make sure you guys tune in. We're not going to be live streaming, unfortunately, this Saturday, but seriously, dude, where I live, you never know, Devil. You never know. They could be freaking Nightcrawler or something flying through there. We aren't going to be live streaming this Saturday, but I will have a video out for you guys. So that was the kind of the main long roundabout point. I will have episode 2 of the vlog series. By the way, guys, have you watched the vlog series? Shogun, Devil, have you watched the vlog series? I know it's only 1 episode deep, but did you watch? And if so, what do you think? What do you think about the boys' editing skills? I know I'm new to this. I edit podcasts and stuff like that and short form YouTube videos. But this is my first kind of undertaking of actual editing. Yeah, Devil, my vlog. It's called Fight or Flight. We talked about this on the Logan Paul live stream. Shogun watched it, my dude. Let's go. Basically, it's my journey to becoming a... Try to watch a lot of work, though. Hey, no worries, Josh. I appreciate it. Anytime you can get around to it. I'm not going to, you guys have stuff to do in your lives. My skills are good. I appreciate that, Shogun. Devil, yes, check it out. Episode 2, that's coming tomorrow, is probably the funniest piece of content I've ever made. So you guys will get a kick out of that. But yes, that'll be out tomorrow. Not sure what time yet, what time's best to kind of upload those things, but that is going to be up tomorrow, episode 2. You guys check that out. I actually do some boxing, a little bit of boxing movement especially. Been really trying to work on my footwork, and it shows me going back to Tennessee. So you guys get to see some of my friends. Cheetos, and see, now Shogun is you give him too many opportunities on a 49-minute podcast, and he starts going crazy. Now he's talking about Cheetos with protein. Unbelievable. But yes, check that out tomorrow, and then Saturday, December 7th, we will have a big-time live stream, double live stream. We're going to live stream react to Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, and then we will live stream react to the UFC Washington, D.C. card. So, yeah, that is our show for today, guys. Thank you so, so much. I appreciate you all being here, guys. I swear I say it every time I live stream, but I love this shit. I love this shit. I love talking to you guys. I love the live chat. It's why I kind of went away from the recordings, because I thought maybe that would help out with the viewership and the growth of the channel. But I just like this too much, man. I just like this too much. Hey, no homo, all that. But I do love you guys. That's Jurakick, that's Shogun, that's Devil, that's Josh, Kelsey, obviously. That's Devil. That is German, my boy. That is everybody. Everybody that's come in here and everybody that's going to be back. So that is our show today. I will see you guys. Obviously, tomorrow the video's up, so go check that out on the YouTube channel. But I will see you guys next week for the predictions episode of UFC Fight Night Washington, D.C., and the Andy Ruiz Anthony Joshua card, as well as the recap of Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz. So, oh, by the way, before we get out of here, check this out. Christmas decorations, courtesy Kelsey. So, after I get off the live stream today, I'm going to do some things, and I'm going to Target to get some really cool Christmas lights, because Christmas is coming. I love Christmas. My favorite time of year. Merry Christmas. Merry whatever you celebrate. Look at the tree. It's pretty cool. Also, I have this. I have this guy. I'm not sure what exactly he is, but he has a beard, so I'm a little jealous. But yeah, Kelsey is the master decorator. Everybody give her a shout out. Devil's already given her shout outs. Shogun's giving him shout outs. So, yes, Christmas calendar. Shogun, you're the freaking man. You see this? Hold on. You see this, though? That's my Days Till Thanksgiving, calendar-ish thing. The way my camera's set up, I have like aperture priority on it, so it blurs out like my background, but this is what it looks like. My brother did the drawing of the turkey there. That's 6 days. But I do need a Christmas calendar. And I think what we'll do is we'll do like Christmas music. We'll do Christmas music for every single podcast we do. So we'll have like some Christmas songs going on. Anyway, yeah, man, I'm excited to be back, guys. Check out episode 2 of my Fight or Flight vlog series tomorrow, and I will see you guys next week for another live stream reaction podcast. Guys, this is the W.A.D.E concept, and while we're small in number, we are strong in energy and integrity. I will see you guys next time. Bring those energy levels. Thank you so much. This is the W.A.D.E concept, and you already know we are debating everything. See you guys next week.